It's early spring again already, and that means the woods are starting to wake up and those gobblers are starting to strut. If you're looking for some early season turkey hunting tips, you are in the right place. Today I'm going to go over 5 killer early season turkey hunting tips to get you started off right. Whether you're a first timer or a seasoned hunter, you will benefit from some of these strategies. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and let's get into the tips. And tip number 1 is to scout early and scout often. Early season is about knowing where the turkeys are before you can even think about pulling that trigger. Right now they're coming off of winter flocks, so toms are starting to work out their dominance, trying to break off a little bit to find their hens. So what you need to do right now is look for roost trees. Big trees near open water, big open fields. Look for tracks, droppings, some feathers that are underneath some of those big trees. And I like to take a good pair of binoculars with me when I'm going out, and the best times are dusk and dawn because you're looking for where they are roosting now. You want to stay pretty far back, use your binoculars so you don't spook them. Trust me, the more you know about what they're doing right now, the better off you're going to be come opening morning. Tip number 2 is to master subtle calling. During the early season, toms can be call shy. They're not as fired up as they're going to be when those hens are off on their nests and those toms are trying to find those last minute hookups.
Hot girl!
Overcalling can send a tom running the other direction so fast. You want to start with those soft, subtle, clucks and purrs and yelps. You're a hen that's just chilling. You don't want to sound desperate. I like to use a pot call, a glass or a slate to get that soft, that smooth, mellow tone. And when you do your calling, you want to pause and listen. And if you get a gobble back, you need to resist that urge to just hit him immediately with another call. You need to be patient here. Let him come to you. It's one of the hardest things to master, and you're never going to get perfect at it. You're always just going to be tempted to just keep hammering him, just getting him to come in. As long as he's gobbling, you're hitting him with more calls. Resist that. Make him come to you. Like I said, patience is key here. Also, bonus tip with these, make sure you condition it at the house beforehand or at the truck before you go out in the field. And also make sure you have a conditioning stone. Ask me how I know.
Oh, all right. Real quick. I just want to take some time to, oh my God, this seat is wet. Take 2. Just want to make sure I thank some of the channel sponsors that help allow me to keep doing YouTube. If you're looking for some conceal and carry training, check out Legal Heat. Another one is Medic Box. It's a subscription-based med kit thing. It's pretty cool. You can build 4 different med kits throughout one year subscription. Aero Precision, if you're looking for any high quality parts for building your next AR. Iron Infidel for some good workout gear, which I think I'm going to need because I think I need to work on my cardio.
And tip number 3 is to set up smart. Concealment is everything when it comes to turkey hunting, not just in the early season, just all season long. Your cover and concealment is super important. You want to think thick cover behind you, something that breaks up your pattern, but you also need to think about cover in front of you, that your cover is 3-dimensional. But you also need to make sure your cover isn't so restrictive that you don't have good clean shots. You don't want to have to move a lot to get a clear shot depending on where that tom is. There's a lot of art to it. It's something you kind of intuitively pick up as you get more experienced, but just remember your cover is 3-dimensional, but don't stifle your shooting lanes. Is stifle the right word? And if you're using decoys, you want to make sure you keep it natural. I like to just stick to a single hen decoy about 20 yards out or so. Like I said, keep it natural. I do have Jake decoys, or Jake decoy. I rarely use it. If I use decoys at all, it's just a single hen. To me, it's the most passive setup, just the way I like to hunt. I know a lot of people like to get aggressive with it, and if it works for you, that's fine. But in the early season, you don't necessarily need to go all out on the aggression in the beginning. Stick to the more subtle setups, and I think you'll have a lot more success. And tip number 4 is to dress for the multiple types of weather you're likely to see in the early season. Early spring can be very unpredictable and can vary even in the same day. You can start out with really chilly mornings, frost on the ground, and then that sun peaks up and then everything just kind of melts and gets wet and gross, and then you're also hot. So dress with base layers that are moisture wicking to keep you dry and also keep you warm, but you want to keep layers on because, like I said, you could start out really cold in the mornings. I'm always cold, so I like to dress warmer than I think it's going to be. And then as the afternoon or as the day goes on and it starts getting hot, you can sort of strip out of that stuff. Always have waterproof jacket with you, and do not skimp on good boots. Like I said, things can get muddy real quick, and if you're trying to sneak up on a tom and you don't have good traction, that's not good. Another thing to think about, when you're dealing with a lot of moisture in the mornings, it's just the way spring mornings are. They're always wet with dew. But these friction calls, your pot calls and your box calls, do not do well with moisture. So you want to keep them as dry as possible, otherwise they're not going to work. You may even want to keep them in a Ziploc bag until you get set up. Just anything you can do to keep them dry. And tip number 5 is to make sure you're set up in your spot well before first light. Early season means those early mornings. You want to get out there and set up well before that first light when those toms start gobbling. That is your golden opportunity to get those toms to fly down your direction. Now, if you sleep in, whether on purpose or on accident, that doesn't mean the day's shot. That doesn't mean you can't shoot a turkey. You can just as easily shoot a turkey, mid-morning. It just changes your strategies a little bit. But if you want to get out there before they fly down, make sure you're there and set up well before that. The worst thing you can do, and I've done this plenty of times, is you're running behind, you're trying to race that sun up, those turkeys are already gobbling, you're not quite sure if you can get set up in time, you're being clumsy and loud, and you're just more likely to spook them and make them go the other direction. If you are late, if you had every intent of getting there before first light, for whatever reason, you just don't make it, I would rather sit in the truck, wait for first light, let them fly down, and then start working in on them. So there you have it, 5 tips to help you have the most successful early turkey season you can have. What was the first one? Scout hard, call soft, set up smart, dress right, and get out there early. Put these tips to work and you will be ready to tag that long beard. What is your go-to early season trick? Leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure it could help some other people as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your hunting buddies, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can stay informed.